Hi guys, welcome back. This is the second video showing you some examples of codes. I should be covering two different types of questions here and hopefully it'll become quite clear how to do these. I'm going to start with this question here where you're normally given 4 words and some numerical codes that relate to the words. Now in an easy question, you'll be given the 4 words and the 4 codes that relate to those. Now in a question where you're only given 3, like this one, don't worry. It's not that they've made a mistake or they've forgotten something. It's just that they are looking for you to work out the 3 words using these codes that are provided, and then to see if you can use the information that you've found to work out the 4th one. And don't even worry if you can't work the 4th one out fully, because that does not mean you haven't solved the question. It means that you probably don't need those other letters. And this will become apparent as we work through this example. So let me start by showing you this particular type of exercise. Okay, so let's grab a green pen. So what we're going to look at here first is we've got the words spin, talk, pint and nest. Now notice they have letters. Okay, and you can see some letters that are repeated. For example, you can see an N here and an N here and an N here. Okay, now you're expecting the codes to have digits in those particular positions, and it would be the same digit for N. Now if you look at the other one, you've got T, T, T. Okay, so you're looking at these type of things and you're looking to see how you can match the numbers to the codes. So let me just delete this again so we can start and I can show you how to do this. Well, I like to start with the numbers. Now, it doesn't matter if you start with the numbers or the letters, but I prefer the numbers, okay? So looking at the numbers, I can see straight away that we have a 7 here and a 7 here. So 2 of these words must have the same letter at the end. Okay, so we can see that we've got T there and T there. All right, so we know that's going to be the 7. Now, how do we work out which one of these it is? Well, if you then start to look for other patterns on here, you'll notice that you've got the 6 here and you've got a 6 here. So the word that relates to 6237, the letter in front of that is the same as the word 1467. The letter is the 3rd place. So what do I mean? So what does that mean is, well, if you look carefully at these two, you notice that this N is in 3rd position here and it's in front here. Okay, so that tells us that this will be 6, and you want to write it above the word 6237, and this will be 1467. Now from here you can tell that T is 7 and S is 3 and E is 2 and N is 6 and I is 4, P is 1, and so on. And you're going to use these now to work out the codes for the others. Okay, so let's see what we've got and what we can put in. So we know the N is 6, so that will be a 6. Okay, straight away now we know this here, 3146, 3146 must belong to here. Okay, we know the T is 7, so this could be 7. Now we look for the A and we can't find the A. We can't find an L and we can't find a K. Now at this point somebody might look at it and say, oh, got a mistake here. There's no mistake. Now if you look at the actual question and look what it's looking for, it says find the code for cent. Well, you know S is 3, so you put it on the top or below, doesn't really matter. E, that's a 2. Okay, you can see that here. N is a 6. and the T is a 7. So 3, 2, 6, 7. Okay, let's look at the next one. Tiniest. Okay, again for the tiniest, you know the T is 7. The I is 4. The N is 6. The I is 4 again. E is 2. S is 3. And the T is 7. Okay, so 7, 4, 6, 4, 2, 3, 7. Okay, so you've got from the word the code in numerical digits. Now you've got the code and you've got to work out what the word is. So you know 3 from there is S. The 7 is T. The 2 is E. The 1 that we had, let's go back and look at this 1. So what did we have for the 1? Was P. And if you didn't notice that, I could quickly show you again. Oops, let's go back there and you can see that there is the P. Okay, and finally I'll finish it here. You've got the 3 as S, so that makes steps. Okay, so that's how you would work out this type of question. Okay, let's make that, there we go. If I skip forward now and show you a second example. Okay, so we're looking at a question here. Now this question here, now it's important to recognize how the question has been asked in the first place. So in this one it says, in each question below, the 3 words in the second group should go together in the same way as the 3 words in the first group. Find the missing word from the second group and write it in the space provided. So what's it asking us to do? It's saying this word here is somehow related to that and that. Now it could be related from a vocabulary point of view because it's not very clear. Okay, in some questions it will be clear. On purpose we have not given you full clarity here because it depends how the question is asked. Okay, here it's not clear. So the first thing to see is see if there's any sort of vocabulary connection between fried, grime and gloom. Not easily. Not easily. What you then look for is other connections. Is this word, for example, made out of the letters from here? And that is exactly what we're looking for here. Now, let's look at how we're going to do this. Some children find it very easy to see questions like this. They can see it without using the method I'm about to show you. Okay, because the method that I show can be a bit lengthy in an exam, but it's good for practicing and making sure you fully understand what you've got to do. Okay, how does it work? Okay, if I show you this with a number method, and then once you've had some practice, you can start to do this without the numbers if you need to. Okay, we're going to start by numbering each of these letters. Okay, so we're going to do above these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we've got 5 on each side, a total of 10 letters. And we're now going to look at how the word grime is made. So, looking at grime, you've got the G from here. So this will be a 6. So you write a 6 there. The R is from here, which again is 2. The I is from here, which is 3. The M is from here, which is 10. And finally the E is from here, which is 4. So this is quite a straightforward question. Because what we're going to do now, I'm going to do it in a slightly different colour. Let's do it in red. If we label these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. We're going to follow the same pattern, so we need 6. So 6 is an S. Then we need a 2, which is an L. Then we need a 3, which is an I. Yeah, notice this is where I'm getting these from. Then we need 10. So there's your 10 there, which is D. And finally, I need 4. And there's the 4 here. There, that's an E. So the answer to that is slide. Okay, that's a very straightforward example. Let me show you another example, which is a little bit more tricky. Okay, so let's now look at this example. Okay, on this example, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to label them first with digits above each one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Again, 5 on each side. Normally, you know, you'd get the same letters, but it doesn't really matter. You could have 5 on one side, 6 on the other. Doesn't really matter. And we're also going to then label these ones as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the same way. 8, 9, and finally 10. Okay, so let's have a look at the first one, see how it's been created. So the S is there. So that's 10. Okay, it's important how you start to lay these questions out, because you'll see in a little while, as they get trickier, you start to have more than one option. Okay, so let's have a look at this C. And notice the C is here and also here. So now you could have 4 or 6 for the C. Okay, the O is here, which is 9. The R is there, which is 2. And the E is 5. So just for clarity, I'm going to write this out a bit neater for you. So if you were doing it underneath, you would be writing that, then the 4, then the 6, and the 9, the 2, and the 5. Okay, ideally, you want to keep it like that so you can see a sort of a straight line run through there. Okay, that's what you want to be doing. Let's get rid of this line. Okay, so let's have a look at what we've got. So 10 is a T. So you're going to get a T. Let's put it down next to it. So there's your T. 4 or 6, that's A. There's your 4. There's your 6. It's either an A or an E. The 9 is an N. You can see that here. 2 is a T. And then finally you've got the 5, which is an S. So now looking at this, what have you got? So you've got an option of 2 here. You've either got T-A-N-T-S, the word T-A-N-T-S, tants, or you've got the word there, which is T-E-N-T-S. And obviously, tense is the more sensible word, so the answer here will be tense. Okay, so you can see this is a little bit more tricky because it's got more than one option there. Okay, let's have a look at the third more complicated question. Okay, so let's have a look at this slightly harder, probably as hard as you're going to get, in examination, this type of example. So let's label again, let's label the letters with numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Okay, and I'm going to do this question on the bottom here so you can see it. So for the S here, we can either have this one or this one. Okay, that's 1 or 10. So 1 or 10. I mentioned about the layout. It's important you get this layout set out nicely so it becomes easier to see, especially when you've got a number of options. Okay, next one is an L. Now the L is number 7. Put that in the middle. The A here could have come from either 2, 5 or 8. So now we've got 2, 5 or 8. The N comes from the 3rd place, so that's 3. And then the T comes from the 4th place, so that's 4. So we know it's a 5-letter word. Okay, so we're going to start by putting in the numbers on top again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Now in this sort of example, what we're not going to do is look at all the different types of combination of numbers. It's actually easier if you replace the numbers with letters. You're probably going to see the words that are possible much quicker. So let me show you what I mean. So 1 is a P, 10 is a T, the 7 is a R, the 2 is an O, the 5 is T, and the 8 is an A. The 3 is I, and finally the 4 is N. Now looking at that, you, as I can do straight away, see a word that straight away jumps out at me. Okay, you can try different ones. You only need one that works. Okay, so for me, straight away I can see this word. Train. So the answer here would be train. Now, just say that you hadn't seen the word train. So you could have a look at different options here. So you could look at P-R-O-I-N, proin, P-R-T-I-N, protein, P-R-A-I-n, prain, T-R-O-I-N, troin, T-R-T-I-N, and then T-R-A-I-N. So obviously you will eventually get to it if you try different combinations. But notice by putting in the letters, you can see the patterns much quicker. So I would suggest that's the way to do that. Okay, I hope that helped, and I hope that's much more clearer now. Okay, hope you enjoyed the lesson. See you next time.